Hey there, welcome to the super awesome research segment of my podcast. Are you ready to dive headfirst into the mind-boggling world of psychology, mental health, and all things related? I hope you've got your seatbelt on because we're about to embark on a wild and fascinating journey. Before we jump in, let's make sure you're all set and ready to go. Grab yourself a tasty beverage to keep those taste buds tingling. It could be a refreshing glass of water, a strong cup of coffee, a soothing mug of tea, or hey, whatever floats your boat. We want you to be completely comfortable and fully engaged. Oh, and don't forget your trusty pen and notepad. You'll definitely want to jot down any mind-blowing insights or burning questions that pop into your head. Believe me, you won't want to miss a single nugget of wisdom that we'll be dropping. We're about to blow your mind with some seriously eye-opening stuff.
Wow.
Whether you're a psychology newbie or a seasoned expert, this discussion is going to ignite your curiosity and passion for understanding human behaviour and well-being. So get cozy, my listeners, and prepare to have your perspectives expanded and your mind buzzing with brand new ideas. Implicit bias and racism may seem similar, but they're not quite the same thing. Let's break it down. Implicit bias is like those sneaky little thoughts that pop up in our minds without us even realizing it. It's the unconscious attitudes or stereotypes we hold about certain groups of people. You know, those automatic assumptions we make without even thinking twice. These biases can influence our thoughts, decisions, and behaviors, all without us even being aware of it. Now, racism, on the other hand, is a whole system of power and oppression. It's all about the belief that certain racial or ethnic groups are either superior or inferior to others. Racism involves intentional discrimination or prejudice based on someone's race. It's the explicit and purposeful mistreatment or disadvantage of individuals or groups because of their race. So while implicit bias is more like a hidden influence on our thoughts and actions, racism is a bigger societal problem. It's about the unfair treatment and inequality that certain racial or ethnic groups face due to these biases. Visibility. Racism is like a humongous iceberg, impossible to miss. It's the overt acts of discrimination, prejudice, and hatred that we can see and hear. Think of racist slurs, hate crimes, or discriminatory policies. Racism often grabs the headlines and sparks public outrage due to its explicit nature. On the other hand, implicit bias is more like a hidden illness lurking beneath the surface. It operates at a subconscious level, making it challenging to detect. Implicit biases manifest in subtle ways, influencing our thoughts, decisions, and behaviours without us even realising it. It's like a silent puppet master pulling the strings behind the scenes. Racism packs a mighty punch when it comes to its impact. It perpetuates systemic inequalities and creates significant barriers for marginalised communities. From limited access to resources and opportunities to unequal treatment in various spheres of life, racism's effects can be far-reaching and deeply damaging. Implicit bias, although less overt, can also have a profound impact. These unconscious biases seep into our everyday interactions, affecting how we perceive others, make judgments, and even make hiring or promotion decisions. Over time, these biases contribute to systemic disparities and reinforce existing inequalities. So, in a nutshell, racism is the loud, visible force that perpetuates inequality, while implicit bias operates beneath the surface, silently shaping our thoughts and actions. Understanding these differences is super important because it helps us tackle both issues. By recognising and addressing our own implicit biases, we can work towards dismantling the bigger picture of racism and creating a more inclusive and fair world for everyone. And that's a wrap, folks. We've come to the end of another mind-boggling research segment on My Therapy Room podcast. And to all our listeners out there, thank you for joining us on this wild and wonderful segment. We hope you learned and maybe even pondered a few big questions along the way. Remember, the quest for knowledge never ends, so keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep embracing. That's what makes us beautifully human. Catch you on the next one.